The Origins of the Moon, an African folktale. In a time long forgotten by all but the eldest of spirits, the earth was shrouded in unending darkness. There was no sun to mark the day, no stars to pierce the black canvas of the night. The world was cold, quiet, and blind. The people of the earth lived in a state of constant unease, for they knew not what lay beyond the shadows that surrounded them. The darkness was a mystery, and in that mystery, fear was born. The inhabitants of this dark world were simple folk. They lived off the land, but their lives were fraught with challenges. Without light, they could not see the faces of their loved ones or the paths they walked. The rivers and forests were dangerous, filled with unseen threats. The people stumbled through the darkness, relying on the sounds and smells of their environment to guide them. But this was not enough. In the village of Ubunto, nestled deep within the great forest, the elders gathered every night around a dying fire. The flames flickered weakly, casting long, ghostly shadows on their weathered faces. Elder Kofi, the eldest among them, spoke in a voice that trembled with age and concern. "We must call upon the spirits," he said. "We must pray for light, for a way to see and to be seen. If we do not, I fear that the darkness will take us all." The other elders nodded in agreement, their faces etched with worry. Something had to be done. That night, under the cover of the endless darkness, the people of Ubunto gathered in the village square. They held hands and formed a circle around the fire, which was now nothing more than glowing embers. The village shaman, a woman named Amina, stepped into the center of the circle. She carried a staff adorned with feathers and bones, symbols of her connection to the spirit world. Amina raised her arms to the sky and began to chant in a language older than the earth itself. The words flowed from her lips like a river, each syllable carrying the hopes and fears of the people. The villagers joined in, their voices rising in a crescendo of desperate prayer. They called out to the heavens, to the spirits of the sky, the earth, and the unseen realms. They begged for light, for a way to banish the darkness that had plagued them for as long as anyone could remember. A faint, silvery light appeared on the horizon, growing brighter with each passing moment. The villagers gasped in awe as the light expanded, illuminating the forest and the village in a soft, ethereal glow. The light coalesced into a single, glowing orb that hung in the sky, bathing the world in a gentle, soothing radiance. The moon had arrived. The moon's descent from the heavens was a sight that would be remembered for generations. The villagers of Ubunto could hardly believe their eyes. They had never seen such beauty, such purity. The moon's light was unlike anything they had ever known, soft, yet bright enough to illuminate the entire village and beyond. As the moon drew closer, her form became more defined. She was not just a glowing orb but a graceful, ethereal being. Her body was slender and elongated, her face serene and kind. Her hair flowed like liquid silver, and her eyes sparkled with the light of 1,000 stars. She wore a robe of shimmering white, which seemed to be made of the very fabric of the night sky. The villagers fell to their knees in reverence as the moon touched down in the village square. Her feet hovered just above the ground, and her presence filled the air with a sense of peace and tranquility. The shaman, Amina, approached the moon cautiously, her heart pounding with a mixture of awe and fear. "O great moon," Amina said, her voice trembling, "we have called upon the spirits, and you have answered our prayers. We are grateful beyond words. But we must ask, why have you come?" The moon's voice was like music, soft and melodious, yet carrying a power that commanded attention. "I have heard your prayers," she said. "I have seen your suffering in the darkness, and I have come to bring you light. But know this, children of the earth, the light I bring is not without conditions. The world must remain in balance, and for this balance to be maintained, you must agree to the terms I set before you." The villagers exchanged worried glances, wondering what the moon would ask of them. They had prayed for light, but now they feared what price they might have to pay. Amina, sensing the unease of her people, took a deep breath and addressed the moon once more. "We are humble and grateful for your presence, O moon. Please, tell us your conditions, and we shall do our best to honor them. The first condition," she began, "is that you must cherish the light I provide, but also respect the darkness. There will be times when I must hide, leaving the night to its natural state. You must learn to live with both light and darkness, for each has its purpose. The light will guide you, but the darkness will teach you. Without darkness, you will not appreciate the light, and without light, you will be lost in the darkness." The villagers nodded in understanding. They had lived in darkness for so long that they knew its challenges all too well. "The second condition," the moon continued, "is that you must care for one another. My light will not shine as brightly on those who harbor hate in their hearts. Only in unity and love will my glow be steady and true. If you allow anger and division to grow among you, my light will wane, and the darkness will return." This condition struck a chord with the villagers. They knew that their survival in the darkness had depended on their ability to work together and support one another. They vowed to maintain this unity, knowing that their future depended on it. And finally, the moon said, her voice growing softer, "You must honor the natural world, for it is from the earth that I draw my strength. The rivers, the trees, the mountains, and the animals, all must be respected and protected. If you harm the earth, my light will grow dim, and you will be left to find your way in the shadows." The villagers solemnly agreed to this final condition. They had always lived in harmony with the land, but they knew that they would need to be even more mindful of their actions going forward. Satisfied with their promises, the moon smiled gently and began to rise back into the sky. The moon took her place in the heavens, where she has remained ever since, watching over the earth and its inhabitants. With the moon's light now gracing the earth, the people of Ubunto and the surrounding lands experienced a profound transformation. The fear that had once gripped their hearts began to fade, replaced by a sense of hope and renewal. The first condition, to cherish the light but also respect the darkness, became a guiding principle for the villagers. They recognized that the light brought clarity and safety, but they also understood that the darkness had its own lessons to teach. The villagers learned to appreciate the cycles of light and darkness, finding beauty in both. The second condition, to care for one another, became the foundation of the village's social structure. The villagers knew that the strength of the moon's light depended on the unity of their community. They worked together, helping those in need, resolving conflicts with compassion, and celebrating each other's successes. The moon's light was a constant reminder that their fate was intertwined, and that only by standing together could they ensure a bright future. The third condition, to honor the natural world, led the villagers to develop a deep reverence for the earth. They understood that the moon's light was connected to the health of the land, and so they became stewards of their environment. They planted trees, protected the rivers, and treated the animals with respect. The villagers knew that their actions had a direct impact on the balance of light and darkness, and they took this responsibility seriously. As the years passed, the village of Ubunto thrived. The people lived in harmony with one another and with the land. The moon's light continued to shine brightly, guiding them through the night and filling their hearts with peace. The villagers told stories of the moon's descent, passing down the tale to their children and their children's children. The story of the moon became a central part of their culture, a reminder of the conditions they had agreed to and the importance of maintaining the balance between light and darkness. The village flourished, and the people lived in harmony with one another and with the land. The village became a beacon of light in a world that still contained much darkness, a place where people could come to find peace, knowledge, and guidance. In this way, the tale of the moon becomes not just a story, but a living legacy, guiding us all toward a brighter, more balanced future. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe for more interesting folktale stories. Please in the comment section below let us know the type of folktale stories you would like to see on our channel.